Hi, I'm Sean Clark. Today I'm at Hillcrest Academy from Halloween H20. Welcome to Horizontal Grounds. So here we are at location number 1. I'm with Scott on tape. If you don't know him, it's not surprising. But you should check out his page, his YouTube channel, Scott on Tape. And tonight, we are doing something amazing. We are going to stay for 2 nights at the Paramore Estate, which was Hillcrest Academy from Halloween H20. But first, we got to work our way to that footage. We got to work our way. We start where it starts, right here in this cul-de-sac right here. Now, you don't really see that it's a cul-de-sac in the movie. Right here in this spot where we're standing in front of this house is where it opens with the knife going into the pumpkin, and the kids take off running in this direction. And you'll see this part of the cul-de-sac right here and the sidewalk, and then it pans over to here, and right over there is Nurse Marion, is it Marion Chambers? Right. Is her name. But in the film, it's Whittington, which makes you wonder, okay, did she get married? Or was she in the witness protection program, kind of like Carrie Tate? We don't know. It's never really explained. But she comes driving up here and parks in front of the house. So the thing that's interesting about it is that this is a cul-de-sac.
She drives from nowhere.
She's driving from, maybe she was visiting a neighbor's house.
Well,
maybe
she's coming home from a long day of work. She's having that cigarette dangling out of her mouth. It looks like work.
She really took a while to get to lighting that cigarette.
It does take a long time.
Yeah.
It's just hanging.
She comes pulling up right here and then parks pretty much right where this black car is, a little more forward by these trash cans. And this is her house right here. Right here, 4946 Melrose Hill. Now, they did not use the interior of this house. The interior of both this house and Jimmy's house were sets built on the back lot at Universal, and that was confirmed by Chris Durand, who played Michael Myers in the film. And one interesting thing about these locations is this is the only location in the film that they used the Halloween 6 mask that I actually own. The screen used only part 6 mask that was used in this film, and it was only used in this one scene. And according to Chris, that was done mid-production. They weren't happy with the K&B version, the plain white looking one, and they switched for just a couple days to the part 6 version. And then he said he showed up on set one day and there was another mask, which was the Stan Winston H20 version. So her car is parked here. And one thing that's interesting is you see these light poles in Hollywood. They put these up on streets all the time. It's just kind of a thing they do. But this is a real one. They really have them on this street, and it's right in front of her house. And her front door is ajar, as they say. It's open, and the porch light was broken. And she looks in, sees that there's been a little bit of nonsense going on there, and she says, F that noise. And she goes running across the yard here, through the driveway, and up onto the porch of Jimmy's house. She goes knocking on this door, and nobody answers. So she then walks this way and bumps into them right here. I believe right here. She kind of looks down here, and then they come from this way, bump into them there. That's right here. And of course, they go inside to call the police. Again, another set. One of the dead giveaways for both of these is if you look through the windows in each house, you'll see bushes basically blocking the background. Well, neither here in real life nor during the film will you see bushes in front of those windows. So
big mistake. Huge
mistake. As they say. They blew
big.
it. They blew it.
They blew it.
It's true. And this is 4940, 4946. So anyway, Jimmy then decides to go back over there to check it out because, you know, where's the fun in that as far as waiting for the cops? That's what he says. So he goes over there. He messes up the kitchen. He steals a couple beers. He says everything is fine and clear. He goes back to his house. She goes back to hers. And then...
hilarity ensues.
Then she gets spooked again. She runs back over. That's when she goes in, finds them dead. And then Michael kills her right in this window here. So they did use the interior at least for the shots looking through the windows from the outside, because this here would have been, it's covered by the bush now, but right here, this would have been the window where she breaks the window to try to get the cops' attention, but you can't see it because it's covered with a bush. But right here was that window. And I'm sorry, but even though the cops went in the house, she smashes a window with a fire poker. You don't think they would have heard that,
right.
You know, right. On a quiet street
quiet
like this?
Midwestern street in Illinois. Come on.
But you can see that window. This is it here, and as you can see right there, you can see that is the window. I'm looking through a window to the other window that she's trying to get their attention when they're over there on the porch over there. So,
and do you think, Sean, do you
Yes.
think they did the hockey mask thing? Do you think they had them playing hockey so that he could wear a hockey mask for the Jason homage?
Of course, that's
Like
100%.
right. The mask is homage, but do you think that's, they set it up for them to be playing
Absolutely.
hockey? Yeah.
This movie was full of homages to classic horror and, of course, the original Halloween franchise. You know, her looking out the classroom window and seeing him, you know. They keep doing callbacks,
right,
for sure. But yeah, they were doing
definitely
that.
a little nod to Jason.
As the cops head over to check this window here, they see the window is broken. They're looking in there. They're obviously very good cops,
right,
because while they're looking in that broken window, from the very same house's driveway, a car pulls out.
They don't bother to stop it.
Don't bother to stop. Don't notice it. Don't, you know, pulls out. And not only does it doesn't go that way, it goes this way.
So he reverses out that way? Or does it,
So
he comes
no,
out
he drives out forward and then goes this way.
Past the cops.
Passing the cops, but also heading to the end of the cul-de-sac. Okay, so now we're done with these locations. We're going to head to the next one. I don't think you're coming with me to the next location.
It's far.
But we are going to be heading to the Paramore Hillcrest Academy, but you're going there for another reason. You're going there to film a video on what?
About the movie Scream 3. Because Scream 3, John Milton, the producer, played by Lance Henriksen. I want you to say it.
Okay.
That was his home at the base. So the final third act of Scream 3 all takes place in the same location as Halloween H20.
So you're going to be doing your video. I'm going to be doing my video. We may pop in and out of each other's videos. You never know, because the kids like that.
We'll see.
We're going to try to put these out on the same day.
Yep, definitely same day.
So if you're watching this video the day it came out, make sure you watch his.
And if you're watching my video,
which isn't going to help because they're watching mine.
If you're watching my video right now, go to Sean's video, right? That makes sense.
But this is where Myers drives up to the park, pulls in here, does what this guy is about to do. Pulls in here, and he goes this way, just like he's doing. And the camera falls this way and stops right here on the sign that says rest area. Right here. Comes in here. And the rest area sign is right here. Malibu Creek State Park. Entrance to the park is right there. For $3, you can get an hour. Go in there. Go to the first parking lot on the left, and that is where the rest area is, the bathroom. It's not the first bathroom you see. It's the one over here next to the little sheriff's depot, which wasn't there during filming. So when you see the car pull up, it's over here. It'd be basically driving through this building. If you look at this Google Earth map that I've provided, you will see that this building wasn't here at the time. And the road pretty much went through here. That building wasn't there either. And the road went this way. And basically where these bushes are and the rest of this building. So the road would have went this way. And that's where the truck drove up to the bathrooms, which are here. I'm gonna go this way to try to get the best view of it. See, it went through here and drove up to the rest area here. Now, they built a little false thing in the middle here to hide that center door because they wanted it to be, you know, only 2 door options. This one was locked and the men's was open. That's why she had to go into the men's room, causing even more attention. Little girl goes in men's bathroom. You know, it's pretty controversial. But if you pay attention to when they go inside, there's windows across the top on both sides. There's no windows here. And unfortunately, that bathroom is locked, but this one is open. So you can see it's just a single person bathroom. I'll give you a look-see. As you can see, this is what the inside actually looks like. Not a ginormous bathroom. So this is it. This is the H20 bathroom. And it's cool because you come here to Malibu State Park. You can pay the $3 for an hour to park here and get to check this out. Or you can go do some hiking and go check out some of the sets from MASH. And they also shot Planet of the Apes out here. Classic film, Black Waters of Echoes Pond, was also shot on the other side of the park. Some of the scenes. There it is. Proof I was here. Getting sunburned. My white ass doesn't stay in the sun often. Woo. And this is where Michael would be driving away. You see the mountains in the background. So this is where Jamie comes around the car. She's walking around here, looks across the street, sees the kids trick-or-treating. She gets bumped into some kids around here. She walks this way, and she heads over to this building here. Now, this used to be 2 separate units. You can actually see the address. It used to be on the wall here, but they've now combined this into 1 unit. And right here is the window she actually stops at and looks in when she sees the reflection of Michael behind her. Now what you'd see would be this back here. Then she gets bumped into by Alan Arkin after they have some conversation. They go right across the street to this Hobbies and More, which was a little cafe at the time, or maybe it wasn't a cafe and they dressed it as one for the movie, but that is where they have drinks. Let's go see. So it's through this window right here is where she's sitting, right there, looking across the street, and you can actually see across the street the pumpkin that was in the window that she walked past. You can see it across the street. Is that little?
Yeah, the pegboard wasn't there.
Oh.
That was a long time ago. I wasn't even here when that happened.
Oh wow! Yeah. And what do you guys do here? Is it like magic? Is it like Magic the Gathering kind of thing?
Similar to that, yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
That is so cool. I appreciate you.
No problem.
So although this pole has been replaced, this is the exact spot where John Strode would have been leaning against this pole. And then Charlie walks out. Or is it me? So Charlie walks out of the liquor store right here, shows Josh the bottle, and they head in this direction, having conversation, not realizing that just across the street, Mom is going to be pretty pissed in a minute when she sees the boys skipping out of school. They walk up to about this spot just here, and they stop right here. You can see these poles behind them, and this is where Jamie comes up and confronts them. When it cuts back to her looking in this direction, it then cuts back, and suddenly they've been magically transported to right here. I don't know, continuity error, or maybe there was a little dialogue where they backed up that got cut out of the film. I don't know, but suddenly they went from there to here. The conversation continues here, and she tells Charlie to go, and they have the fight, and then Josh Hartnett, John Strode, ends up going this way, and he walks off in this direction. So Jamie pulls out, does a U-turn here, heading off in this direction. But right here, where this car is, Myers is parked, and he follows. This is in La Puente, California, Main Street. So right now we're at the Hillcrest Academy gates. This is out in Chatsworth, way far away from the other property. They built a fake wall, fake guard shack, and big gate fence here. The Hillcrest Academy sign would have been placed roughly about this area here. This is where Myers was parked. And they also built a fake wall to mimic the walls at the Paramore estate going down around the corner. So let's go up there and take a look at where the guard shack was. You can see right here, this is where the wall would have went from here, the big old gate right here. And the guard shack, where LL Cool J was, AKA Ronnie, would have been right here. This also is where, at the end of the film, Jamie would have gotten the axe and then started to head around the corner, and then it cuts to the other location. That all would have happened right here. So this is roughly the bird's eye from Ronnie's shack. Background here. I'm in Ronnie's shack. I don't know if that's awesome or not. It's kind of cool, I guess. But let's go take a look as to where this actually goes. As we see the cars disappear around this corner. And you wonder to yourself, where does it actually lead to? I don't know. We won't go very far though. But as you can see, it just goes back this way, around a corner. And this is it. Hillcrest Academy entrance. Now let's go there and see the actual school, shall we? I think we shall. Who's that guy? Is that Myers? I don't know.
So this is my recreation of the dream sequence from the beginning of the film. It pans down this hallway and heads through this door, which is the classroom in the film. Goes through here. Then it pans up to the chalkboard, floats around to the desk. See Carrie Tate's desk and the picture of her son John. Goes over here to the clock sitting on the mantle of the fireplace. Back to the desk and into this closet. So they built a fake closet here, which is actually going into this kitchen we see later in the film. Pulls back out of the fake closet and back to the desk, and the knife is now in the photo. Pans back, chalkboard says Laurie Strode on it. She screams, waking up. Now this is the cottage that was used on the property at the Paramore that was Laurie Strode, aka Carrie Tate's residence. She's looking through this window here. I'm a little taller than her. I try to make the adjustment. There we go. She doesn't like what those kids are doing. So tell me a little bit about this here. We're in the cottage, which was Jamie's cottage in the film.
Right. So this is just the window when she's looking out, thinking she's going to see me, and I come up behind her in the reflection.
Yeah.
And it's kind of where she's beginning to freak out about everything.
Yeah.
So we shot this very, very early on. I remember that day because it was really quick.
Now, did they do a reshoot on your part for the reflection because they changed the mask back to the
They
Winston
did
version?
not.
No? Okay.
No, they did not.
Okay.
So I don't know what they did.
They added it in as a background reflection.
They layered it in as a
Yeah.
reflection, yeah. We shot this very, very early. And the reason I remember that is because that was the day I came and I first met all the kids. So I met Josh and Michelle, and they introduced me outside. And they were waiting kind of like, who's Michael, because it was exciting for them. Came in and shot this and then I was done for the day.
So when they did shoot the reflection thing, you just came up behind her in here and the way they
Yeah. We shot it practically, yeah.
Okay.
And then they probably had to change it digitally after.
Understood.
Yeah.
Like that. This is the window as she is looking out. And you can tell this is the same latches. These latches have not changed. But she's looking out at the kids in the courtyard. Now, mind you, this wall wasn't here, so that she could see a little bit further from here. So the shot starts here. You can see Carrie Tate's cabin in the background, the stairs. They start walking this way. You can see the roof of the cabin. Now this whole area here, this along here, this is all vined, and they start walking here. And now they start to walk past this building. Now this wall right here, there's Robert, by the way.
Hey.
This wall wasn't here when they shot the film. So what you're seeing them walk past is actually this right here. This building here. The windows have changed, but you're also gonna see this building here, it's also now covered with this wall. But we're gonna see where they go, which is this way. Now, mind you, we're shooting in this direction. Again, you don't see this wall, obviously, because you can see that building visibly. But they then go this way. Again, more wall. Camera really moves past them and gets over to here, then cuts back to them going up the stairs to the school. And obviously, as you can see here, they did not use any interior in here. That was a set. Where did they shoot that set?
That set was on the back lot of Universal.
Back lot of Universal. Yeah. So probably because of this, there's this big thing here in the middle of the room that would have made it a lot more difficult to film.
Well, to fit a whole crew in here and to dodge stuff like that is very tight.
Yeah.
So.
There's Scott on tape.
Trying to be quiet.
Huh? Well, I appreciate it.
I know you were
but I heard the
filming.
footsteps. I'm like, well, we have to include him now. They're going to be like,
I'm not a
whose
cam-
footsteps are
I'm not a
those?
camera hog.
Robert's keen eye, he caught this bit in the bathroom. Well, you explain it. You explain it, Robert.
So Dr. Loomis's photos of all the dead bodies in the beginning. So one guy's
the opening credits.
opening credits scene, and there's a guy hanging out of a bathtub, which I actually own that photo, and
He owns the screen used photo, people.
so Sean will interject it here, and then I think I recognize these bathroom tiles.
These are definitely the tiles. So at one time, that bathtub was probably in this bathroom, maybe before they put this shower in, because now they have a bathtub actually in the middle of the room right here.
As you do.
Look at that. What's that over there? What the hell is that? And why is that on my bed? Oh no. Michael! Oh, sorry. Wrong movie. Anyhow, a keen eye of Robert to catch that. They probably shot that picture right here on that floor. Yeah, so pretty much the only thing they used here was that window.
Yeah, they use it for the window and they use it to look up the street where we just were.
Yeah.
Because we did the other shot right there. We'll talk about that when we get out there.
I don't think they use this door because there's shots where they cut to them opening the door and like LL Cool J's on the other side, and you see this bushes behind them. But I think that was all the set.
That was all set.
Yeah. All right, let's go look around. And that's another one of those scenes that you can definitely see. You're wearing the old mask, you know, as you're approaching. It's so funny is I tell this to people and they don't, what the mask changed? And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. You know?
Right, but the great thing about the story is everyone was so engaged that they're not thinking that. They're not catching those details.
Yeah. So when was the last time you were at this location?
When we finished filming.
Wow, so it's been 26 years,
Something
is that
like
right?
that, yeah.
Would that be right, 26?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow, that's nuts.
This place is layered.
Yeah.
There it is. So at the end of it all, when they load Michael into the ambulance and they're going to take off and they start driving down the street right here, there are two paramedics that come walking around the corner there. One of them's me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Here you guys. Yeah, I thought you were like right beside me.
And Scott
For the voice
walks
of
right
Harris.
in on my tape, like right in.
Want a wine cooler?
You know, Scott on tape only drinks Rockstar. Speaking of which, if you saw that commercial with "You're a Rock Star" when they're talking to the people that work in regular jobs, and then like,
Nickelback.
Paul Stanley walks in, and Ozzy and Billy Idol, they shot that here. In fact, Ozzy is sitting right here by the pool, right in the spot here. Ozzy Osbourne, who I just happen to work with, name drop, sitting right here by the pool. And I can verify that because I have a photo of it. And inside, when it's supposed to be like a hotel room that Billy Idol's trashing, it's one of the rooms upstairs, and he walks through the hallway as well.
And in my prerogative, Britney Spears, they drop a car right into this pool at the beginning of the
You
video.
know why?
Why?
Because it was her prerogative.
And REM filmed a video inside that room too.
REM.
At my most
haven't
beautiful.
heard of them.
Yeah, you have.
But, well, you got the tattoo, though. That means they're
real. I don't get fake stuff put on.
they-
Up and coming.
Are they?
They're
Are they
up and coming.
Yeah. Are they? I like.
They're a
the,
college band for people that were in college in the 80s.
You know, I like to support the new kids, the millennials.
New Kids
These
on the
are,
Block,
I'm going to check out these REMs.
Step by Step, great song.
Yep. My friend's band Shinedown also recorded a video in the room over there. I'll talk about that later when I'm in that room and tell a little bit of story.
Here. And we should also mention
the band H20 played here. Man, they're kind of a small band. There's a hardcore band, but
if
it's
we
cool
are doing a
it's
crossover
cool that
thing,
they,
then we should mention
what?
Scream 3 was shot here.
Scream 3, yeah. Is that
I'm going to be
the
pumping
thing
up your
that
video on
Stab's
my
based
channel.
on?
So go to my channel after you watch this and watch the Scream 3 locations.
Go check out his channel. It's called.
Cut that the fuck out. I mean, cut that out.
Oh, this is staying in.
Oh, no.
Anyway, no, it's called Scott on Tape. You know, yeah. So yeah, Scream 3 was shot here. This is the infamous pool. We'll see that in your video, Scott on Tape. Got to go check that out.
She throws the gun in the pool.
Josh comes walking in here. The stairs in the background are different. We'll talk about that later. Now this pool was covered, but you can still see this lip. This lip. It's kind of funny when you now know it's a pool there. You see this obvious concrete thing that people would be tripping over and having lawsuits at the school over. But anyway, he comes walking to right about here, and he stops, looking into this direction. Now, as you can see, there's nothing there. Well, that's because it cuts to the other side of the building. We're gonna go there right now and you'll see what I mean. We're now on the other side. We started over there. Now, this is kind of confusing. I'm gonna try to show you. The swimming pool this is the ballroom. You can see my reflection. But see, through that door, that's a swimming pool. They keep cutting back and forth from that side to this side. Now, I'll show you what I mean. I don't know why they did this. I guess maybe to try to give a feeling of claustrophobia, like it's all enclosed and they're kind of trapped vibe. I guess, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, Josh is looking in this direction. They put a fake door there. You can still see the top of the window, but they put a fake door there to make this look like, I don't know, another part of the building. So then Josh creeps up behind Michelle right here. And you can see this in the background, no pool obviously. And it just keeps cutting back and forth from this side to that side, this side to that side, from side to side. And over there, you can see they keep cutting back. There was a bench over here, and you can see the brick in the background. That pot wasn't there, but they cut back to here. And then Josh and Michelle come walking up to the door, the fake door that they really don't go in. Ain't that right, guys?
That's right.
Yeah.
I have a question or
Oh, here we
point
go.
for you.
Yeah.
No,
Here we go.
for real. This is real.
This is real.
Because I see what you're saying about the claustrophobia, like especially with the walls that they show throughout the movie, you know, as a school. I was thinking maybe they shot it this way to give because it's not really that huge of a building to be a whole school,
Yeah.
to make it look like it's an actual different building,
big campus.
a big campus.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But I get the claustrophobia thing you're talking about, to make it look like they're in traffic. You know, there's no way out of this place with the walls.
Yeah, just using every part of the
make it
building
look-
they can,
yeah.
just to make it look bigger, like this is a whole nother building behind them.
Because a private school would be a little bigger than this building.
When in reality, it's just one big building with some surrounding cottages. But as you can see here, that's really the size of it. But they used pretty much as much of this property as they could.
Sure, and a lot of tight shots to cut out all these views.
Yes.
Of Glendale and downtown Los Angeles. I mean,
Yeah.
Summer Glen.
There was a little path here. I don't know if they added that. I mean, there is some spot here that looks like the grass is a little dead, but they had a little brick path here. I'm assuming they added that where
26
Michelle
years
Williams was walking along here.
So we did what you call splits for most of that movie. So a lot of the time we started at noon and finished by midnight. Steve wouldn't shoot more than 12 hours, which was great. So it allowed everybody to kind of have mornings, you know, weekends where you weren't wrecked. We had kind of a nice schedule that way. But then, you know, they were good about scheduling me in when I needed to be there and not for stuff I didn't. So I wasn't just hanging around.
Yeah.
Show up on set in street clothes and in 5 minutes be in a shot.
Yeah, didn't have to deal with too much makeup or.
No, it was the turtleneck jumpsuit, the boots, and then stick the mask on at the last second.
So they come around the corner here and walk down this hallway, heading towards the office. Now they did a good job of decorating this, because you would have never known in a million years that this bedroom was the office, Janet Leigh's office, right in here. And heading into Carrie Tate's office. Now they replaced this door here, this flimsy glass door, with a regular door, and she shuts the door on her mom, on Janet Leigh, and they start to make out right here. Sexy time, right here. And it's hot.
it's a hot scene.
Yep. And this was her office, and she's standing over here in this corner. And you can't really see it too well because of the light coming in, ruining the shot, and the curtains covering the brick, but you can see that it is the same brick here. As you can see behind her. And her desk is right about, I think right about here, yes?
Yep.
But later, she's looking out, was it this one? She's standing here, watching the kids leave. The camera starts up here and pans down. It does zoom in right here on Carrie Tate, AKA Laurie Strode, looking out this window. That is her office. They're leaving to go on the field trip. She's looking out this window here. And then when she decides to leave, she goes this way and she heads out this door right here, the one I have open. It's out this door. This is the door that Carrie Tate walks out of. Now, I can't get the shot just right because she walks across this pool. Because, you know, Laurie Strode is very Christ-like. She walks across the pool here. You see her step down over the lip. Now that you know that it's a pool, you start to really notice it. When she stops and looks back at that window right there, light is on, and then she continues in this direction, heading to the cottage, which is down here. And here's where we see Jamie come running out as she sees the buses leaving. She walks to here and then catches the buses just going around this corner. She stands here having some regret, and then she turns and bumps into her mother, Janet Leigh, who's standing right here. And parked right where that succulent is her car from the original Psycho. And she stops and turns around to wish her a happy Halloween. Jamie then stops right here, turns back and looks at her. Let's head out, let's head this way. So this is the famous where you're walking towards her.
Correct.
And she's standing there trying to, you know, like keep her eyes shut and count to 10.
Right, she's trying to blink me away
Yeah,
and pretend I don't exist at this point.
yeah,
So in actual, they were right here.
yeah.
And so she's here blinking away. Adams jumps in at the last second, which is the jump scare.
Yeah.
But what happened is I'm up here and we're rehearsing it. And they say action. So I'm waiting for my mark and my cue, and they go, yeah, that's good. And they started talking amongst themselves and never told me to stop. So I came all the way up to them, and they all were like, ah! And I got the whole crew at that point because they just weren't paying attention.
Now, I thought it's kind of ironic that not only did they use this for Halloween H20, but then they came back right after and used it for Scream 3.
Right.
Which was also interesting because in H20, there's a scene of Scream 2 on
Right.
the TV
Right.
with Sarah Michelle Gellar, who you killed as
Correct.
Ghostface
I was
in
Ghostface
Scream 2.
in Scream 2, correct.
This is
Right.
strange. I mean, obviously there's Kevin Williamson connection.
They did the nod. They did a lot
yeah.
of nods in H20. So.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of funny. It's like a little incestual there.
Yeah.
Well, here's
The infamous gate.
the gate. Now,
So when we first came here, this gate was not here.
yeah, well, I was told they built it out for the film. That's
Yes.
You can see where the holes are, where they moved this gate to here.
Correct.
If you look here, take a look at the bottom of the gate. See these where the bolts go there? See that? You can see where they put them in the ground over here. Right there. And there was the little latch hole. So they extended this out. Robert's shutting the gate, get that visual. And that is definitely the same gate, 100%. But like we said, moved it out to here so you don't see this window. And then they put a fake window, basically the same spot where that window is, but just brought out. So. And this is the window where she's washing dishes. Is it that one or this one?
I'd have to check.
I think, well, a sink, isn't the sink over there? It might be.
There's actually no sink there.
What? I'm gonna get this just, so.
So the camera would be facing this way.
Gate's there, that's this line here then. So right here, this is where the keys would have been. Ah, you know what? Check that line out, look, boom. See that? You can see it. You can see
They
it.
marked it, say throw the keys here.
So the keys actually are a little more like this. That notch in the ground, screen used, notch in the ground. Now right here, this is where the what would you call it?
Keypad.
Keypad, intercom would have been, actually, hello. I think we know how they hung it. There's a hole right there. So right there, that's where it was hung. And here is where the infamous door
Was right here where the
Yeah.
gate currently is, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's such an iconic scene.
That
Yeah.
is probably, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, that's the first time for Jamie's character that she's seen Michael in 2 decades almost,
Yeah.
right? And this whole time, Jamie is not sure if he's real, if he's back,
Yeah.
until this moment.
Yeah.
So it's we know as an audience that Michael's there. That's why we're scared. She is hallucinating back and forth, and then this is the confirmation that he's actually back.
And
it's
what
on.
now? This is one of those scenes that the change of the mask made such a huge difference.
Huge.
Because when you
Yes.
see that original take that was in the trailer,
Right.
and then you see the version in the movie, and you did it so much better in the second take because you did this. You did this kind of, like really cool.
It's a curious look. So
Yeah.
in my mind, what I was doing at the time, I was kind of that predator coming for the kids,
Yeah.
and I just missed them as we arrive at the window, and then it's, oh, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then I actually did like this little drag away
Yeah.
where I started to turn, which they cut before that, which made more sense. You always overfilm and then change it in editing. It's better to drop something, to have it and drop it, right? But story-wise, it made sense. Like, oh, how's it going? And then she fumbles for the gun and comes up and I'm gone.
Yeah.
That's freakier. So they did the right thing. So in this scene, I avoided the kids for like 2 hours
Yeah.
before this. I wouldn't go anywhere near them. Wherever I saw them, I was somewhere else. And I kept my distance. Now they're in here and they're lining up. The cameras are right here, ready to go for this close-up. There's a wall here. They can't see anything. I'm over there. So I got masked up over there, and they're like, you ready? And I'm like, yeah. And like, are you going to come up? I go, no, just film. Just roll it.
Yeah.
And so they started rolling, and I stacked myself up behind the camera
Yeah.
so they couldn't see me coming. And I got some speed up. And so by the time it was action, I like appeared around them with force, like with energy. It's like boom, and they were like, it made them jump back for real. And then the scary thing here is I had the real knife, and I'm swinging it
Yeah.
right in their face. So I had to get back, figure out a distance where I couldn't go further,
Yeah.
right, and work it there. And the scene they cut out is because the knife already had blood on it from Josh's leg stab, it flicked and Michelle got splattered a little bit
Oh.
on one of the takes. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why they didn't use that. I thought it was cool. They would have had to match it, I guess. So.
It's cool that this is the same gate, though.
Yeah, pulled all of this and they built it out and he mounted it out here. Yeah, we're going in?
I think we're going in.
Cool.
Yes.
Trying to remember exactly where we were because we had
I can refresh you. This is where Jody's
Jody's
body's
thing.
hanging.
They did the thing and
Yeah.
Jody was here.
You appear there.
I appeared here, which is the head tilt,
Yeah.
and I walked. So that was the first time I'd ever seen the head tilt.
Yeah.
They showed me a thing, and we just did it. 5 minutes later, it's on film. But I remember doing this with the lighting and coming and making a turn and making sure the knife glinted off the camera. So a lot of the time when you're doing this stuff, there's a duality of being in the scene, having that energy, and also hitting those technical marks. But coming from an original stunt background, I've had to hit marks, rolling down a hill and land right at the camera lens. So I'm pretty good at hitting marks without looking. But it was things like that, like the knife and coming and then flicking it just so you know that I'm flaring the lens a little bit. Yeah. Looks different.
Yeah. So right here, I guess they put some shelving to make this room
Yeah,
look tighter.
They closed this room off to make it this big, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the more gruesome scenes where you see something in H20, where you see the aftermath.
And you didn't mess around with your head tilt on this scene. You made sure it was noticed. You did a pretty extreme one. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's great because it's the first time we kind of see you. Come on, give us a little taste. Come on.
Well, it's one of these scenes where you pop up and see me there, and I'm already there, and then it's that, oh, look, and then we go, and then the walking that I did, because I tend to bounce when I walk naturally, like I'm like, doo, 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 right? So I have to kind of bend my knees and almost glide,
Yeah.
and do it this way because it's a little freakier, and so it's almost floatier.
Yeah.
Coming in.
And so in here, this is where they built the false wall.
Correct.
So which would have been like here. And then, because based on where the windows were, and then they turned the actual dumbwaiter into like a shelving with stuff on it.
And they put the dumbwaiter there that she
Yeah.
was climbing into, yes.
Yeah. And where did they shoot the actual dumbwaiter scenes? Was studio?
Yeah, we did crawling in and stuff here, and the actual like looking down the dumbwaiter and all
tunnel, yeah.
that was at Universal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was almost wondering if maybe they used this just for the shots of looking into it.
No, they actually built something on set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting thing about this location, there is no sink. This is the lower kitchen in the house. There's actually not a sink. It's just a countertop. But they make it look like there's a sink. I think they put a fake one in. She's sitting there pretending to wash the dishes, looking out the window. And then the dumbwaiter comes down, which would have been right here. She gets the note, she reads it, and she follows it in this direction. She walks this way and heads into here. It then cuts from over there, looking in this direction. It cuts to here. And she stops and she heads this way. She starts walking in this direction. And then it cuts back to where we just came from. Movie magic. Cuts right there. And he pops out from like behind this pillar, I think.
Where she would have seen him. But.
Yeah. So there was a fake archway here. But yeah, he would have popped out from probably behind this pillar if this wasn't here. But quite honestly, he really didn't need to pop out anywhere because he was off camera and he just jumps into frame. And then, well, let's see if we can match that up. Pause that. So this is coming out. Do we see that stripe?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, there it is.
So
Is that on all? There's another one there though.
Yeah. So here's what I think. I think you see here, 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 and then false fall. You know what I mean? These three things.
Yeah.
And then they built a false wall. Is what I think.
You know what? I think this corner right here is the corner of this right here. So that would mean the false wall would probably be right here.
Yeah.
Like, so that means they put a fake window here. And then we cut to the classroom. Believe it or not, this is the classroom. So Michelle Williams is sitting right here. And Carrie Tate, I almost said Laurie Strode, Carrie Tate's desk is right here. Now in the dream sequence opening, her desk was right here. So, but you know, dreams get weird, you know, they can be different. Chalkboard here, chalkboard here. She's sitting here. and John Strode is sitting over here. And it's this window that she looks out of to see Michael staring through that gate. Oddly enough, the actual gate, although we found out it had been moved for the production, the actual gate is way down there, down completely out of view, kind of far walk. No way, even if all that bush was gone, no way you'd see it. But they built a facade and used the actual gate that's down there for it. So here it is. This is the door.
Right, yes. So they must have pulled it up top. That door's seen better days.
Oh yeah. And what I was thinking is that down here would have seemed practical for like honey wagons.
Yeah, and I think they did. I think they used some of this to park some of the trailers.
Yeah.
But pretty much if you had like a wardrobe trailer down here, they would take the rack of stuff they're using and float it up to set.
Yeah. So
Might have to.
she sees Mike. You gotta shut it. She sees Michael. You gotta shut it.
That's about it.
That's about it. Don't dilly dally. That's good. So she sees Michael looking through. Oh, I should have bought the mask. I have that mask. Next time. Tomorrow. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get the mask and I'll do the mask.
There of some sort, and then because the roof is peaked behind them, that's why I think it's this room.
Yep, 100%. Okay. So then they're looking this way. And Adam Markin is standing at the door there, and you can see over his shoulder the window. You see curtains, and you can see the light coming through it. A lot of stuff was covered with pictures and paraphernalia. Very cool. Room number 3. Awesome. This is the window that they sneak in. This is the laundry room. So they sneak in this window here. Looks very different. They see Myers for the first time and they leave. They come running around this corner. Camera follows them into here and they quickly exit this window here. That's the window that they crawl out of to escape you. That's the laundry room.
Right.
And then this is where they come running to go to the gate. They come running up these stairs. The camera goes this way. Walking backwards is never fun. And there was a tree over here, no longer there. They stop right by this tree. You can see the bend, the bendy tree we call it.
Well, I'm gonna guess right about here.
You're right, because you can see this tree. And they start to head in this direction, and then you pop out from right here is where you attack.
Yep. I remember well. So the hard thing with this scene, 2 things. One is when I stabbed Josh in the leg. It's like the axe you showed me before. It was a retractable knife.
Yeah.
The problem is we bloodied the knife up, and the blood gets sticky.
And it's stuck.
And I didn't want it to stick. So the whole time before I stab him, I'm sitting there going to make sure it's moving.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't get him, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to stick and then really stab him. And then the hard reaction was Michelle comes from behind with a rock, and my field of view is here. So she's hitting me back here in the story. I can't see anything. I have no peripheral to know it's coming, to react. So we had to time it. And just, it's like, and then go, you know, it's the right time.
How many takes did it take to get the scene right?
Just a couple.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've done worse where you can't see. So you figure out something off of a grunt or, you know, a moan or whatever, that it's coming, and then you time it. And every now and then you do it completely wrong, and you're like, okay, give me something so I can time it. But yeah, I stab, they knock me down, and they go that way, and then we go up and around, and it goes to the gate.
Yep, we'll follow that path that they took heading up. And we're back practically where we started.
So we did, yeah, and I stuck back here when they were prepping.
Yeah.
It was like, they're still there, I'll be over here. I didn't step out and do stuff until it was like literally the last second.
Now, believe it or not, this is the shot when Myers is looking down about to stab Jody. The crown molding has changed. They got rid of that, and there was power lines going to these lights, and they've taken those out, those pipes. It took me a while to figure this spot out, but this is the spot right here. So after they come through the gate and the door confrontation happens, they come up these stairs, limping, right here, and head up this way. You see down this hallway. At the end of this hallway, there's a door that's open. And then I show this hallway. Cuts back to her. So then they run down this way. This door here is open, but she puts them in this closet, which isn't a closet. This is actually a room, like the one you'd see if that door was open. But they faked it as a closet, and she puts them in here. You can see, don't you see this thing here?
Yes, you see that.
The little, whatever, this is like a phone, the intercom, what is this thing? It's like an old phone.
Yeah, so I think that's right.
So this right here is where they filmed the shadow, the silhouette or whatever of the bad guy. And then this was where, I'm trying to think if it was right.
Right here's where you picked up out.
Yeah, so I came from here.
Yeah, you come through that door, which the door is now missing. The door's not there. But so I'm guessing they built the wire rig up here?
Yeah, they built the little frame to lift Adam up, but when we did the actual gag, it was a gentleman named Gil Combs, been around forever. And it's just one of those thumpers where he had to jump and then fall flat. And so I had to time it with the knife against his back, and as he jumped, and I went rump, and I ripped the knife, and I go, and he goes boom. So I wanted to get it in one for Gil.
What's his name? Gil?
Gil Combs.
And he was Alan's
He
stunt
doubled
double?
down for that, yeah. But that's just one of those hits where there's no, like, it's better if you're, say, running and fall down because you can scrub off speed by rolling. But when you fall direct, you get every ounce of the energy. So he had to just take the hit. So I did not want to mess that up. But this scene was not about him.
Yeah.
This scene was about Jamie, who was at the end of the hall, because I wasn't looking at him. He's incidental to getting to her. So I lift him up and I'm staring her down.
Yeah.
It's like, look what I'm doing to your boyfriend. And he's twitching, and then I rip this thing out and I go. And so it keeps the energy up. But it's never been about killing this guy. It's about
Getting her.
Again, I'm taking away your hiding spots. I'm taking away the things you love. And I'm coming for you. Right?
And around here, this is the famous closet scene.
So this is the closet.
Even though it's a room, but this is where she's supposedly hiding. Doorknob was on this side, but this is where you think she went in.
This is when we had to redo and smashing through, and then
Yeah.
she comes from behind and hits me with the fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm here
Yeah,
doing this, and so she'd boom and
yeah.
drop, and then we went that way.
And this is where you do your famous sit up. Yeah,
Sit up and turn and look, and then
Yeah.
that's another thing. So this is, other than the head tilt, this is the only thing they showed me because we were overlapping this, and they just showed me the original, from the original. Like, this is what we're overlapping. It's like, okay, cool.
This is the closet that Josh and them are hiding in. Remember, she puts them in here, then she goes to face you, then she gets them out and tells them to go through
And
there.
tells them to go.
Yeah. That's where they run into.
Correct.
And you chase them to go down the stairs.
And I come out and we go down the stairs. That's outside
Yeah,
there.
but they never show anybody in this room. They see go in and then coming out of the door.
Correct. Yeah, it wasn't. It was just a means to get to the stairs. Well, if you look here. Okay. So that balcony is where we came out,
Yeah,
and there was a staircase just like this staircase here
yeah.
that went down. That's where we chased them out.
This is where you chase them down the stairs.
Right. And this was a substantial staircase. It was straight like that, like I said.
Yeah, used to come this way, right?
Yeah.
But now,
It came from the balcony down this way. There's a balcony there right now, but the stairs actually came down, ended probably here, came down from the room.
yeah.
And things weren't so lush. Wow.
But you know this
This
hallway.
is dressed out a little bit differently.
Yeah.
It was very stark when we did it. It was supposed to be a school hallway.
Yeah.
So right in here,
Oh, is this the famous?
there used to be a pipe.
Was there really a pipe?
There was really a pipe.
Oh, I thought you guys added
No,
it for the
no, no, no. There was really a pipe. And I think it was back here in this section right here. And the concept was I had to come up behind her somehow. So Steve was looking like, do you want her to come around the corner? Do you want to come here? Do you want to rise up from below the stairs into the shot? And he's just like, no, no, no. And he saw that. And there was this much space between the pipe and the ceiling. He's like, can you come from there? And I'm like, I don't know, give me a ladder. Let me see if I fit. And if it holds me.
So you actually kind of got up.
I got up on a ladder and squished myself up flat against the ceiling. And when she came by, I lowered my legs and peeled off the thing and came down.
Were you on any type of harness?
Nope.
Oh, no shit.
No, it was me.
I thought you were on a harness or
No,
something.
it was
Oh,
all
this is
all my power.
Chris Durand strength here.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we, he goes, can you fit? Yeah. And half an hour later, it's on film.
Wow.
And it became one of the really cool, freaky scenes because I was able to kind of get my hand in lower, real
Super
slowly.
iconic
Into
scene.
the, right. And then just drop in. And so the axe hit you were talking about was all right here. So that happened here. And then what we did is we put in a piece of fake floor for the close-up of the feet. And I just went and stuck it in the ground and then walked off for that shot. And we got that, I think, in one.
Oh, wow.
That
So
was one of those where I'm like, I want this to stick and not ding up the floor, right?
And that was a real axe.
That was a real axe,
Yeah.
right? Which of course sells this part of it.
Yeah.
Because originally I pulled it out and I won't behind me, and then he goes, "Oh, I think I want to feature the axe."
Yeah. In a way, I kind of liked that you did that because the axe was never really Michael's weapon.
Even
Right.
though they used one in Halloween 6, Wilbur used one in a scene, but
that's not his.
it's kind of like
no.
yeah, it's like the knife.
And I'll talk about that in here in a second. But
Let's go in the great room.
the great room, the great hall. This was a fun room.
And this was the lecture room from when they're talking about the field trip. And at the time, there was a real stained glass window there?
There was.
Yeah?
Yeah. I wonder what happened to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But this is where we had all the tables.
Yeah.
So is immediately after we stabbed the axe into the floor, I come in here and she's scrambling under the tables. Mm-hmm. And then that's this famous scene where I'm walking across and she's underneath. Mm-hmm. And this is going to your point you just made about the axe not being his weapon.
Yeah.
So I guess early on in the discussions of the film, somebody suggested in the later scene that when Adam dies that he would pick up the gun. And Mustafa was like, no gun, no gun. You know, it's like, it's the wrong thing. And everyone's like, yeah, we got it. But he overreacted so much that they thought it would be funny to do a prank on him. And of course, I'm the guy doing the prank on him going, I'm 5 is going, right? So we do this whole sequence where I'm walking on the tables. And this is on film somewhere, okay? And we do everything just the same. And I'm standing here and it goes from Jamie up to me, right? Yeah. So you know the shot I'm talking about. Yeah. And I'm standing there with the knife, and Mustafa's over there against the wall with other people, and I go, and I throw the knife and go, and pull the 38 out of my pocket. And there's dead silence for like 5 seconds. I'm like, I'm done. And then he goes, you got me, you got me. And everyone's like, no gun, no gun. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to
so
see
that's
that.
actually on, they filmed it.
I wonder if Steve has a copy of that.
I don't know.
I
I don't know if they printed it at the end of the day, but they had to roll because Mustafa was here to pull the joke off.
The days of printing film, yeah.
Right.
Digital, we would definitely
Digital,
have it.
you'd have it for sure. And then we went from this direction that way again. Once I got down and cut her off, and she scrambled this way, and this was the avenue with tables on both sides. What I like in that scene too is it's a reverse tsunami. Okay, if you're getting chased by a big wave, you have nowhere to go and you're about to be inundated. What I'm doing is I'm flipping things this way and taking away hiding spots. So I'm taking away her safety every step of the way to where she's now exposed.
Yeah.
So it's not I'm the one going to get her, not, right?
So there's some movie magic here. She leaves the great room. It cuts to her on the staircase that's literally right here where the fake room was built for the Halloween surprise. This is where that false wall was. But there's a staircase here, and Jamie comes running up this staircase, tight around this corner, up here, and runs through this door. Which goes into the hallway, but it cuts to the kitchen.
So this is where you come around the corner and...
I come around the corner and she starts throwing knives at me.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Right here, this is where Jamie Curtis pulls out the drawer, and she drops all the knives onto the floor, and she sits over here, and she uses this to defend herself against Michael.
Now, I'm assuming that drawer that she blocks the knife with was a dummy drawer, but it looks just like this one.
Yeah, no, they built one with probably a balsa wood bottom.
Yeah. And I like how you famously
Shake
it off.
A little angry, and that was because it was partly real. The knife was stuck. And I couldn't just cleanly flick the drawer and go. It's really stuck, so I had to like wind up and really give it more, which at the end of the day worked really well. But there's a scene in here where we had a rolling rack with a bunch of stuff on it and crash Jamie through it.
Huh.
So Donna was doing that.
Donna Keegan.
Yeah, and so we were. So it's after this, and she gets smashed. I throw her through the thing, she scrambles out into the hallway. So we're trying to set this up, and Steve's in the next room looking at the monitor. And we're going at, a 10th energy because you don't want to knock everything. It's like we're just marking something. And he's like, that sucks. You're like, okay. What do you want us to do? Make it not suck. It's like,
That sounds like Steve.
thanks, okay. And of course, on the day, it's like boom, and
Yeah.
you throw it through, and everything flies, and But you can't rehearse it. You can line it up.
Yeah.
So that was a funny moment with Steve, though.
And then in here, right here. Yeah.
And I think we had the dumbwaiter
Fake dumbwaiter here
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And they also made the real dumbwaiter shelving again.
Isn't that funny, right? You got to shift it all.
No house usually has a dumbwaiter, but they fake one when they
and
have
to
one.
have one. Right. Right. Correct.
He reaches for the corkscrew right here and knocks it into the sink. That falls down into the garbage disposal right down here. Fun fact, there is no garbage disposal here. The switch for the garbage disposal would have been right over here.
But that's a good scene. Now that's the scene, from what I understand, they couldn't get Adam Hahn Bird back to reshoot that scene with you. And that's when they did the digital mask when you come up behind him, correct?
So there's two things. There's a wider shot coming. I think that's the original mask that they did something digitally on top of. Okay, that's my best guess for that. When I'm face to face with him and there's a real close up of my eye, we had a 10K light like right here. It was so bright I had to do this and say like, tell me when you're ready to shoot my eye, and it's like, okay, go. Okay, that's all I can do. It was that bright. So that close-up may have just been a washed out, overly lit close-up.
And one thing that's interesting about that is the fact that H20 is one of the darkest Halloween films. Like, I mean, I know this from having to try to pull images for you for conventions.
Right.
They are hard to get good images because the movie is so dark.
Right.
And I don't know why it's so dark, because most of Steve Miner's stuff is pretty well lit.
Yeah, it's just moody for the whole, the setting and the topic.
Yeah.
No, but that was it. We actually shot a scene where he kicks me in the groin.
Oh, really?
As a piece of that, and I crossed my eyes in close up that we didn't use.
So
just for fun.
So that would have been when he turned and faced you?
Yeah, but that was a really good scene in the sense that there was so much tension with the garbage disposal. Yeah. And everyone just going, no, don't put your hand down there. Yeah. And then he turns and it's like, oh, hey. It's kind of innocent. And then, so.
But yeah, well, what I had heard is the reason they digitally did the overlay was because since Adam was one of the only New York actors, they didn't want to bring him back for
that may well be.
Yeah.
There was, I mean, at the end, because we switched stuff, there was a lot of technical difficulties with things.
Yeah.
So.
She's on the.
Oh, it's this one here. It's right here. Wow, they make it seem like it's a lot higher because you don't see this, so it had to be here. Oh, hello.
Single notch.
Yep. Look.
There we go.
Right there. Look.
Authentic.
How crazy is that? Looks like they filled it in. That is it. See it?
Yeah, I see it. Yep. They did try to fill it in.
Wow, that's awesome. This is how crazy we get. We got to find all this stuff.
Yes.
All right, and then she goes through this door.
Which is actually a classroom.
Now, can you talk a little bit about the stunt? Because that was a heck of a fall.
That's the balcony that we came out of. And so you do those in two pieces generally.
Yeah.
So we set up pads down here, and I had to get up and over that railing and back, which was tight because I'm tall. So I had to get my butt and legs up over that and my head below the
That's
arch.
probably why when you fall, you're really kind of...
I had to squeeze through.
You went like this.
I had to because it's a tight spot.
Yeah.
And then what we did is we built a scaffold right here, and we set the tables. Well, it wasn't a breakaway, it was a real table. Well, we had one leg set to collapse, so it would give, and that was right in here. And I climbed up a little bit, and this is one of those things. You want to do these things once. So I'm climbed up and Don's like, that's good, that's fine. I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna have enough energy if I'm supposed to come from there.
Yeah.
I go, okay, and they roll cameras. I went, vroom, 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 and climbed up a couple more steps. It's like, no, done.
Yeah.
Right? Wipe the table out and you're done. I don't wanna do things 3 or 4 times. You wanna
Yeah.
do it once and get it.
And so you got it in the one take.
Yeah, we did one take.
As it is, the impact is pretty violent.
Yeah,
and,
but it
cut
needed,
together, it works great.
It needed to be, because if you're just dropping a couple of feet and hitting the table, it's kind of, you lose the energy. So I'm all about doing things once and doing it right.
Now, was there a reason they didn't reshoot you getting stabbed with the flagpole? Because that's one of those moments where you clearly see the mask is different.
No idea.
It just seems like something that would have been easy just to
Yeah,
redo.
I mean, it was such a kerfluffle at that point. It was such a, the hard thing, again, going back to what I just said, you want to do things once, you want to walk away. Something like the tables, there's a lot going on, and you get little happy accidents that happen within the scene. And if you got to go back and reshoot that, which we did, you're like, I'm not going to get those same little moments. So it kind of deflates everybody. So the crew was a bit deflated in terms of like, we've shot this, we got it. We have to reset this. But I can't afford to be deflated, all right? If you're performing, you've got to bring the energy again and hope for different happy accidents. But, in terms of technically getting everything, it's time, money, choices at that point. They have to make choices and get the most important pieces.
And this room has been used in so many productions.
It's a beautiful room, I would imagine.
REM shot a music video in here. Shinedown shot a music video in here. There's so many TV series like Charm School. The history is insane.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I forget, this was originally a silent movie star's mansion.
Yeah.
And then it was a home for wayward girls.
Yeah.
I think there's some problems with the age of the property.
Yeah.
So they've used it mostly as a set. Right, so this was a great shot stalking her, like over the shoulder to come out into here, and then this is where we did the fall. But as you can see, I fill this, and then look where I am here, and I got to get over it. So you got to squeeze through and get over, and
Just you being on the edge of that, I was getting nervous because I'm afraid of heights.
Oh, well, this isn't exactly stable at this point.
Yeah. And right here, this is the staircase that Jamie goes up and down after she has her confrontation with you in the main room where you flip the tables.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think you use these stairs.
I don't know. I did not. But if do those go to the hallway upstairs?
They do. Yeah.
So that's probably where LL came up.
The ending to H20, right here, right up around this bend, supposedly. It is warm today. Yes. Okay, this definitely looks like the area they passed by. In fact, I do think that rock matches right there. Getting our steps in after lunch.
I need that digestion.
I think she's coming from this direction, actually. Pass by these. I'm pretty sure that this is where he would have went through the windshield and over into this direction. These rocks weren't here, obviously, but I think this was probably clear, which means he would have went. The van would have went down here. There's lots of areas here that could have happened. Could have been right down there, but it's pretty overgrown. I doubt it was really as deep as they made it look. They probably just shot it from multiple angles and kept showing it flipping. Oh. But this is supposedly the spot where Myers sits up and she hits him and takes him over the cliff. Now what they probably did is they probably did the stunt here going this way and cut to a different location where they went over a cliff. So our adventure ends. Michael Myers has been beheaded. He's dead and gone, and that's the end of him. We'll never see that guy again. Or was that some superhuman ambulance driver? You know, that's up to you. Anyway, I want to say a big thanks to Chris Durand for joining me on this adventure. Really appreciate it. Scott on Tape, Robert Patterson, their help, you know, Robert's help was invaluable. Scott, he was just there. Now, when they got around to doing Resurrection finally, I mean, obviously they hired Brad because it was a Canadian. They shot
local hire, yeah.
Yeah, they shot in Vancouver. Were you disappointed you weren't getting to reprise the role?
You know, there's a couple of levels to that. Yes, on one hand, because I'd just done a really good job on this and brought it back, and they've been really successful. Knowing that I understand that it's a different production company each time, and they're going to hire local or do something like that. And also know, because I'd be a hypocrite, because if that were the case, then Nick should have been the shape the whole time.
Yeah.
And I never would have had the opportunity. So I got a good one.
Yeah.
Brought Jamie back, killed Michael.
Yeah, and it brought the franchise back.
Brought
'Cause
the franchise
the
back.
franchise was on life support at that point.
Correct, and it introduced an entire new generation to Halloween. So they all went back and discovered all the first ones that they hadn't seen. Because a lot of people, H20 is the first thing they saw, the first Halloween. So, you know.
Well, I appreciate you spending your day coming back here, reliving this with a couple nerds.
Yeah.
And we've been friends a long time.
Long time, man.
And I've always wanted to, you know, I've been here before. My buddy Robert, who's behind the camera at the moment, he rented this place like 6 years ago and invited me to come over and hang out for a bit. And I've always wanted to come back here and shoot something. And of course, with you, you know.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
I was here for it.
yeah. It's crazy, you know, because for me, you know, being a film fan, coming to a place like this, you feel a sense of nostalgia even though you've never been here.
Right.
Because you recognize it. But you have actual nostalgia because you worked here.
Right, right.
You get both. You get both. And is it weird coming back here all the 26 years later?
It's great. I mean, it's all familiar, but it's all different at the same time.
Yeah.
And obviously, things that we built are long since gone.
Yeah.
The decorations are completely different, which is to be expected. But a lot of good memories.
Yeah.
We did a good one here.
I appreciate it, man.
Hey,
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, it's the main.
Question is that
gets really annoying. See all these gnats? These gnats are pests. They've been all over me. I hate it. They love my hair product. I don't know what it is. Anyway, this is where it happened, right here. H2O, baby. H2O.